Imagine standing at the edge of a vast plain 10,000 years ago. No maps, no signs, no numbers. Only the horizon stretching endlessly forward. You need to know how far it is to water, how long before nightfall, how much land belongs to your tribe, and how much belongs to someone else. Long before rulers, satellites, or GPS, humans still measured the world. But how do you measure distance when distance itself has no name? The story of measuring distance begins not with tools, but with the human body. Early humans didn't separate measurement from movement. Distance was not abstract, it was experienced. It was the number of steps before exhaustion, the time it took the sun to move across the sky, the effort required to carry food back to camp. As humans shifted from nomadic life to settled societies, distance suddenly mattered more than ever. Fields needed boundaries, roads needed planning, trade routes needed reliability, and rulers needed control. Measurement became a bridge between chaos and order, a way to turn the wild world into something countable, ownable, and governable. The earliest and most universal unit of distance was the human body. A step, a pace, a foot, an arm span. These units were intuitive and portable. Everyone carried them at all times. But they were also inconsistent. One person's step was not another's. One ruler's arm was longer than his subjects. Yet entire civilizations were built on these approximations. In ancient Mesopotamia, distance was measured in cubits, the length from elbow to fingertip. Clay tablets show land surveyed with ropes knotted at regular intervals. Surveyors walked fields, counting paces, stretching cords across soil, baked hard by the sun. In Egypt, the cubit became sacred. Royal cubits, carved in stone or wood, were preserved in temples. These were not just tools, they were symbols of cosmic order. The Nile flooded each year, erasing boundaries. Measurement was how Egypt restored balance. Using ropes, plumb bobs, and simple sight lines, Egyptians aligned pyramids with astonishing accuracy, all without modern instruments. Distance was controlled through repetition, ritual, and collective discipline. Meanwhile, across the ancient world, walking became calculation. The Greeks formalized the stadion, originally the length of a racetrack, about 600 feet. Distances between cities were described not in miles, but in how long it took to walk them. Geography was tied to human endurance. Roman engineers took this further. They introduced the mil passus, 1,000 paces. Each pace was 2 steps. Soldiers counted them as they marched, dropping markers along roads. These measurements created the Roman mile. Roman roads were built straight, not because it was easy, but because straight lines made distance predictable. Milestones told travelers exactly how far they were from Rome, reinforcing imperial authority with every step. Not all measurement happened on land. For sailors, distance was invisible. The ocean offered no markers, no paths. Early seafarers estimated distance by time and speed, how long the wind pushed their sails, how many heartbeats passed between landmarks. Polynesian navigators mastered distance through stars, waves, and birds. They measured not in numbers, but in knowledge, memorized star paths and the rhythm of the sea. Distance lived in the mind, passed orally across generations. On land again, distance could also be measured by sound and sight. In China, drum towers marked distance within cities. In medieval Europe, church bells defined how far sound could travel, shaping villages around audible space. A town wasn't measured by walls, but by what could be heard. Another powerful tool was the shadow. By placing a stick in the ground and tracking its shadow across the day, ancient astronomers estimated distance indirectly, calculating the size of the Earth itself. Eratosthenes, in the 3rd century BCE, used shadows and geometry to measure the Earth's circumference with remarkable accuracy, using nothing more than sunlight and reason. Distance also became bureaucratic. Medieval surveyors carried chains and rods. The Gunter's chain, introduced in the 17th century, standardized land measurement using metal links. This allowed property to be taxed, sold, and inherited. Distance became legal, but standardization came at a cost. Local units vanished. Traditional measures rooted in daily life were replaced by abstract numbers. Distance became something written, not felt. By the time the metric system emerged in revolutionary France, measurement was no longer human scale. It was universal, mathematical, and detached from the body. Yet the old ways never fully disappeared. We still speak of a stone's throw. A short walk, a long journey. Even today, distance is emotional before it is numerical. The way humans measured distance shaped civilization itself. It determined how cities were built, how armies moved, how empires expanded, and how trade connected distant worlds. Measurement created infrastructure, but also hierarchy. Those who controlled measurement controlled land, labor, and power. Without early distance measurement, there would be no maps, no borders, no engineering, no science. And most importantly, it reminds us that precision is a recent luxury. For most of human history, good enough was enough, because survival mattered more than perfection. Today, satellites orbit Earth, measuring distance to the millimeter. A phone in your pocket can tell you exactly how far you've gone and how far you still have to travel. But beneath all that technology lies something ancient. Every measurement still begins with a human question. How far is it? Can I reach it? And what lies beyond? Long before numbers ruled the world, distance was felt in tired legs, aching arms, and hopeful horizons. And in many ways, it still is.